Recently in Asphalt 9, since I'm a member of the GameLoft Influencer program, I got my own Pro Racer Cup. I have a video of that up on my channel. Now, along with that came an in-game pop-up, which linked to my channel, so if you are here from that, welcome and enjoy the video. Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Ferrari 488 GTB in multiplayer in Asphalt 9, this time at 4 stars. Previously, I did it at 3, and now I have it almost completely maxed. I just don't have any handling epics. So let's get straight to our first race, in which we're facing another 488 GTB, as well as 2 Huracan Evos and 2 Corvette Grand Sports. Now, when I decided I was going to make a video about this car, at first I was going to do it in the current SLR season, the secondary season for that special car that came out that I'm probably not going for because it's not really much good. Anyways, this 488 could be used in Master League in that, along with the Sinar 1. However, I checked the leaderboard, and not a single person had reached Master League yet that I could see. There may have been 1 or 2 at the top, but basically it would have been nearly impossible for me to get there. So I decided, hey, let's just do it in the Classic season instead. Now, I am in Platinum League, meaning that I can face any B and A class cars. Now, this is a mid-tier B class car, so we'll have to see how it does against a bunch of other ones that might be quite a bit higher ranked. And so far, at least in this race, it seems that everybody was in B-class cars, which I thought was quite interesting, although of course we do have some A-class car competition later in the video. So in this first race, it seems like we have pulled quite far away from these Corvettes and Huracans, which are both better cars than this one. And here I do an accidental 360 around the final bend, and then shockwave into the finish line to get first place, with the other people not even on the map at this point. So there are a few things I want to talk about in this video. First of all, a lot of you may have noticed that I gained around 5,000 subscribers in just 3 days. That was in fact due to the pop-up in the game. It would have taken at least half a year for that to happen otherwise, so thank you GameLoft for that. And if you're new, thank you for subscribing, and if you are an old subscriber, also thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed yet, well, what are you waiting for? Alright, so in this race, we're facing an Aventador SV, as well as a Huracan Evo Spider, and a Corvette Grand Sport, both of which are a few hundred higher ranked than me. Now, what is very interesting about this race is that this car directly behind me is actually the Aventador, which is a few hundred rank lower than me. So a bit of an interesting situation here, but I kept my cool, did not let it faze me, and just continued playing the map like I always do. That's the best thing to do whenever you get into this sort of situation where somebody's right behind you. Now, if you know they're quite a bit faster and that they're gonna pass you if you don't find some way to also go faster, you might have to do some risky stuff in that situation. But in this case, I could tell that he wasn't really much faster at all, so I just decided to try to just drive as well as I could and see what happened. And I figured out that it was not actually the Corvette or Huracan directly behind me around that turn there, because they both have better handling stats than me, meaning that they would have passed me at that turn. So yeah, at this point, I knew it wasn't either of those, and it was the SV that was quite a lot lower ranked than me, so kudos to you for driving very well. It was not quite enough for him though, and we do manage to come in first place in this race, with that Corvette and Huracan coming in behind him by quite a long bit. Now, there are a few things I want to talk about upcoming on my channel. Later this week, I do plan to upload an updated How to Go Fast in Asphalt 9 video. I have begun working on that, and as you might expect, a video like that, tutorial videos in general really, just take a long time to put together. So yeah, that is why it's been a long time in the making. I gotta make an outline and record everything and edit it all together. You guys get what I'm talking about. And then, not long from now, hopefully, I will be uploading my second Asphalt 9 music video, which is a bit more about the multiplayer in this game. I think you guys will very much enjoy it. Now, a few days ago, I had expected that I would probably upload it at 19,000 or perhaps 20,000 subscribers, but I mean, I'm already above 23,000, and by the time you're seeing this, I might be at 24,000. I honestly don't know how long it's going to continue, but the point is that I don't actually know what milestone I'm going to upload my music video at. It is really up in the air at this point. Also, a lot of people have asked me, what am I going to do at 25,000 subscribers now that I have done a face reveal? I do not know that either, but it could very well be the music video depending on how the subscriber gains keep on going, but we'll see. So there's a bit of information of what to look forward to on my channel, and you of course will always get to see these multiplayer videos coming out every week for Asphalt 9, and I do upload Forza videos once a week as well. In this race, we have beat 4 Corvette Grand Sports, as well as 3 other cars, and this was a full 8-player race. But now let's see how the 488 can do on the Caribbean against against 2 Corvette Grand Sports ranked 500 higher than me. There's also an F12 TDF that is nearly 500 rank higher than me, so this will be a bit of a battle. Or will it? This was a bit of a surprising beginning, and I was actually able to pull quite far ahead of those guys, and I mean, they're pretty much not even on the map anymore. I'm not entirely sure what happened back there, but hopefully you can see throughout this video that this 488 GTB is definitely not a car to sneeze at. It is quite well rounded with, I would say, overall good performance in all areas. Of course, it is not one of the top cars in Class B, simply due to, well, not being that especially quick, but overall it's pretty good. It doesn't really have any specific disadvantages that hamper it on any track, so it really is a car that can do good anywhere. And I've just realized I've basically done my general review halfway through the video that I usually do at the end. Oh well, we'll figure something out. So it appears that we've left those Corvettes and that F12 TDF in the dust somehow on this track. I think it is partially due to the J50 season giving me so much practice on all variants of the Caribbean. Because the only track in that season was the Caribbean, and the only variants were the 4 90-second ones, or the minute and 10-second ones, as most cars seem to be able to complete them in. So because I played that season quite a bit to get races for my J50 multiplayer video, I did in fact get quite a bit better at that track. Now, anyone else who played a lot in that season would have gotten quite a bit better at that track as well, so of course I'm not the only one. I do not really care for the beginning of this track because there's a lot of tendency for people to get knocked down. However, it did not happen to me in this case, and unfortunately, although I did get a pretty good start, I did not get any nitro going up that ramp because my 360 didn't work, so I didn't have any nitro for this corner, and I didn't get a perfect run when I thought I was going to, so that is what allowed those people directly behind me to catch up a bit closer, especially that one guy, so I knew I had to be quite a bit careful later in this race. Now, this is one thing to keep in mind. Any little mistakes you make, such as that one, can really cause a problem later in that race. Like there, me not picking up that blue nitro really hampered my ability to get up to speed after that barrel roll, and I was so afraid that whatever this was right behind me was going to, in fact, pass me. However, it did not happen. He took the slightly slower right route, and I managed to pull a bit further ahead of him. And we just have this final turn left, which I did manage to take okay. However, I did hit this truck. Yeah, in this race, there are a lot of things that I did that I'm not especially proud of, little mistakes here and there, but in the end, we still managed to get the victory. And that car behind us turned out to be a 3851 Corvette Grand Sport, and there was a 3500 VLF as well. So it's honestly a little bit surprising I was able to maintain the lead in that race, especially after making a few mistakes, but hey, I'm not complaining. So in this race, we do manage to get 2 barrel rolls at the beginning on that barrel roll ramp there. That is something that does not happen a whole lot right there. For some reason, a lot of the barrel rolls on the Caribbean tend to under barrel roll, and I understand that I'm saying barrel roll a lot just then, but hopefully you guys get what I mean. A lot of times they only do 1 when it seems like they should do 2, or they put you on their top when it seems like they should at least do a full one. Maybe that's something they can address in the future. However, it's not usually a big enough problem in order to cause a huge problem in, say, multiplayer, for example. But still, if you're in a win or lose situation, it might be a good idea to avoid some of the more problematic ramps. And those of you who have played on the Caribbean a lot probably know which ones I'm talking about. So this car can get through the jungles of this track with ease. It has a quite good drifting radius, maybe not as good as something like the Corvette Grand Sport, for example, but it's definitely adequate for most turns in the game that you would need to drift around. Now, in my How to Go Fast video, I will be talking about such things like how to know when you should drift around turns and how to know when you should just sort of turn around them. All that sort of stuff is going to be in there. I'm going to try to make that video a real ultimate guide of how to go fast in Asphalt 9. That is my goal with it, so you can have all the information right there in one place. Here we've beat yet another Grand Sport about 500 rank above us, but let's see what will happen in this final race, which is on a bit of a more top speed oriented track. And here we do have a bit of a real competition, the Porsche 918, which is a good little bit faster than this car. Not by a whole lot, but on a track such as this one, it might make a pretty big difference. So I almost catch up to him there. However, he takes that new ramp, which I usually just forget about because I'm so used to just grinding up the left wall and getting nitro that way. Now there, I tried to stay a bit further behind him and not try to pass him right there because I was afraid he might try to 360 me. Because in the SLR season, before I was recording these races, I had some pretty annoying encounters in my Acura, which I was using to get to Elite League in there, or whatever the one is before Masters League. And let's just say there were some quite annoying races, so I was a bit paranoid when I was in this one, or in any race after that when I was getting quite close to somebody or trying to pass them. But it worked out fine in this race. We passed him on that turn before the barrel roll over the ice lake, and it looks like we will be able to do just fine as long as we don't make some sort of bad mistake. So I know I gave my big general review of this car earlier in the video accidentally, but I'll just end off by saying it's a good car, take it out in multiplayer, and I don't think you'll be disappointed, unless of course you're facing high-end S-Class cars. So thank you all for watching, please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and Forza content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!